We're set for the rubber match tonight. The Cubs winning the suspended game 2-1 the final as they host the San Francisco Giants here on Comcast Sportsnet. Glad to have you with us. Jim DeShays and Len Casper with you. The Cubs led 2-0 as we started play again today. They got nothing going offensively, but the pitching able to do the job.
Yeah, it's like they went into a prevent defense and weren't able to mount any kind of an offensive attack, but the bullpen held the Giants down. The Cubs ultimately win, so the Giants got what they wanted, a chance to resume and finish the ball game, and the Cubs got what they wanted, a win that they thought they had 2 days ago.
Yeah, big play by Hector Rondon to end the ball game. A ball that was hit really hard. If it ended up in center field, we would have been tied in the ninth. So lefties on the mound, Travis Wood for the Cubs. Madison Bumgarner will go for the Giants, and it's social media night tonight here at Wrigley Field. So make sure you submit your photos and questions to us. Hashtag Cubs Social, and we'll also give you the Twitter handles for the Cubs and Giant players as they come to bat here tonight. We'll have some of the photos throughout the night. And here from earlier today, we had a 2-hour rain delay before we got started. We'll have the Cubs hosting the Giants next.
Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT. Mobilizing your world. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online, only at southwest.com.
It's been an interesting day/evening already. We were supposed to start at about 4:05. We started instead at 6 o'clock. Cubs able to hang on 2-1 the final. In the rubber game here this evening with left-hander Travis Wood searching for that elusive first win since June 15th. 0-5 over his last 11 starts, but a .312 August earned run average as he'll face the following Giants. Southwest lineup. Angel Pagan hit that ball really hard back through the box. Rondon knocked it down, threw him out. Game over about 40 minutes ago. Hunter Pence, good numbers against the Cubs starter. Posey catches. Sandoval plays third. Morse is in left. Duvall at first. Joe Panik, what a series he's had. 5 for 7 already. Joaquin Arias gets the nod for Brandon Crawford. And Madison Bumgarner, what a year he's had. He's got 5 home runs. He'll bat ninth.
Key defense for the Cubs here in the nightcap. Matt Caesar gets a start in left field. There's Monday Alcantara. In center, Justin Ruggiano right. Third to first will go Valbuena, Javi Baez, Christopher Leka, Anthony Rizzo behind the plate. Wellington Castillo, Lexus starting pitcher. Travis Wood, 25 starts, 7 wins, 10 losses, a .486 earned run average for Travis.
Hunter Wendelstedt will work game 3. He'll be at second base. DeMuro, Estabrook, Wendelstedt, and Basner.
Travis Wood 1-2 with a .341 earned run average in his career against the Giants, covering 5 starts. Pitched against them last July in San Francisco and was really good. 7 innings, allowed 1 run. It was unearned.
So we are ready. Calm conditions, wind not blowing at all, not terribly hot. Let's keep the rain away, though, right?
That would be a very good idea.
Pagan, the switch hitter, batting right-handed against the lefty Wood, and his first pitch is a fastball for a strike to get us started. Strike 2 call.
Fastball, cutter, slider, change, curveball. The pitches that Travis Wood has in his toolbox.
Social media night. We will answer your questions. That's what Pagan tried to do in the 9th inning of game 1 from the other side of the plate. And he's got a leadoff single.
Pagan missed over 40 games with a back issue. And, the Giants feel like he's a real igniter for them at the top of the order. When he first came off the DL, he hit 7 straight and cooled off a little bit. But yeah, he's got a chance to be a real force at the top of the batting order for this Giant club between now and the end of the year.
There's Hunter Pence. We had Angel several years ago as a Cub. As Pence lifts one in the air out into right center, drifting over. Alcantara, and he's got it. We had Pagan a few years ago, but he had short hair then. I'm trying to. The whole series. Who does he remind me of? Russell Brand, maybe? A little Russell Brand.
Yeah,
look.
I see that. Yep.
Stringy hair look. Here's Posey. Remember, it's easy to remember his Twitter handle, @BusterPosey. One ball, no strikes. In the dirt, 2-0. Inside, 3 balls, no strikes. So the Cubs winning the suspended game. They're 55-71. The Giants 66-59. Posey takes the walk.
You got to be careful. You don't want to give up a crooked number early when you're up against Madison Bumgarner. He's one of the better pitchers in the National League. That is the 66th walk issued by Travis Wood this year. That's exactly how many he gave up last year in 200 innings. Yeah. So 144 innings so far this year.
His last start, remember, he walked a couple, then gave up a 3-run homer to Eric Campbell. Sandoval fouls upper deck. 1 strike. And that was it. 3-2. The Mets beat the Cubs last Friday.
Yeah, 5 1/3, 4 hits, walked 4, struck out 5. Walk rate up a good bit this year over last.
With the loss, and technically the Giants won their last game, which was last night, but with the loss, they're 3.5 behind the Dodgers in the West. They've got that second wild card spot. 1 game up on the Atlanta Braves. 2 up in the loss column. Each team with 66 wins. 1-1, 2 on, 1 out. We're in the opening inning, and a ball pulled in the left for a base hit. Pagano around third. Caesar's throw will be cut off by Valbuena, and it's 1-0 Giants.
Sandoval has really struggled this year against left-handed pitching. He's out in front of this changeup. You see the weight's gone. It's out on the front foot, but the changeup stays up in the strike zone, and that allows Sandoval to get on it. Caesar almost blew a tire out there and left, able to recover. Wasn't going to throw out Pagan anyway.
Now Michael Morse swings away and fouls.
He's M code 38. Oh, I get it. Morse code, I bet. Right?
Yeah. I think it's Michael code.
Michael code.
Holds his hands about as far away from his body as any hitter in baseball, and he's got those long arms so he can stand off the plate and still have really good coverage.
Yeah, long and strong, so you got to do your work inside on him. Try to get that fastball. In Travis's case, most likely the cutter in on the hands to induce weak contact. And if you feel like you got him cheating or looking in there, then you can go back down and away. This is where Wada had success against him. Fastballs up. Got a couple of strikeouts of Morse.
Wada got the win. Didn't pitch today, and he went 5 shutout on Tuesday night. The 1-2 is maybe low.
Look over, maybe a little low.
Would have been low on Matt Caesar, but it is low.
Good call.
Yeah, no, you got it right. Morse stands tall at 6'5". Caught his back foot to load the bases. Don't know if it was a slider, but you hear about the back foot slider. And that's kind of the idea, is that the ball ends up near that back foot. This one literally did.
Yeah, that's when, even though guys in pain, you want to yell at him. Get out of the way! You get a swing and miss on a hard-breaking slider, and Morse hopping up the first baseline. Well, this is not good. Bases loaded. Just 1 out here in the first.
Duvall, the first baseman. 1 run in, and the bases are loaded. That's a strike. So I referred to the Fangraphs piece by Dave Cameron earlier. Fangraphs has an active roster filter as we check out our AT&T UVerse Multiview, which allows you to essentially look at the current players on the roster. So Jeff Samardzija, Jason Hamill would not be a part of it. Popped him up. And we get into foul territory. Rizzo's going to have room for out number 2. So they go by a wins above replacement, according to Fangraphs. And look at all the rotations in baseball with the active roster filter. The top 10 current rotations in baseball. The Cubs rank 6th.
And all in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, behind the Tigers, Nationals, Rays, Mariners, and Yankees.
And that's not counting the contributions of Samardzija and
correct.
Hamill.
That's how great Hendricks and Wada have been. And as Cameron writes, if you're going to say that their track records suggest they can't keep it up, you have to do the same thing in the other direction for Wood and Jackson. So his point is, you know, we sit here and say, well, the Cubs got to buy pitching, and they might do it, but what we've seen here lately, JD, has been pretty good. Even with Wood and Jackson struggling because of what Hendricks, Arrieta, and Wada have provided.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if you replaced the performances the Cubs have gotten from Hendricks and Wada and put Samardzija and Hamill in there, you'd have a hard time proving to anyone that the results would be better. To this point, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you mean given what
Jeff
they've done,
and Jason would have been better than what
No.
and
Those guys
have
been, what Wada and Hendricks have done over this period of time has been outstanding. The fear comes in. You're talking about 2 guys without a track record.
Of course.
So you're okay. But you know, and then the argument that the piece makes is that Jackson and Wood have a track record that suggests they should pitch better than they are. Edwin on the disabled list. A strained lat after yesterday's ball game.
The starters sticking together along with John Baker in the dugout. 2-2 on Panic. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the air, and Wood's going to get out of it with limited damage. Alcantara drifting. He's got it to end the inning. They strand 3. They score 1. The Cubs are coming up from Wrigley Field. Benny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to JDRF. Here's the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. The rookie Alcantara will be in the leadoff spot. Baez at short with Starlin Castro on the bereavement list. Rizzo, Ruggiano, Castillo, Valaika in the middle. Luis Valbuena is at third. Matt Caesar will play left and hit 8th. Still looking for his first hit. Travis Wood, the pitcher, bats night.
Key defense for the Giants. Morris, Pagan, Pence in the outfield. Sandoval, third base. He's having a very nice year defensively. Joaquin Arias has played all the infield spots. He's a capable backup. This is his 7th start at shortstop this year. Rookies on the right side, Panik and Duvall, and Buster Posey behind the plate. Lexus starting pitcher for the Gents tonight is 25-year-old left-hander Madison Bumgarner. He's a good one, 13-game winner with an ERA of 3.14. He's been especially good on the road. That's kind of ironic because he pitches in a great pitcher's ballpark at home, but on the road he's 9-3 with a 1.72 earned run average.
Here's Alcantara. By the way, if you had a ticket to the game Tuesday night and were unable to make it here today or tonight, you can opt for a complimentary weeknight game here at Wrigley Field during the remainder of the season. And for more, you can call the ticket office, go to Cubs.com for more details.
Bumgarner, big one, 6'5", 235 out of Hickory, North Carolina.
Opening day starter for the first time in his career. Two-time All-Star. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that mantle of ace for the Giants passed pretty quickly from Lincecum to Kane and now Bumgarner. .62 and 48 lifetime with a career ERA of 3.10.
Shallow right. This could drop, and it's going to. 3 Giants in the area. He sends that flare out into right for a leadoff single.
He has not had a lot of success of late, so a little good fortune never hurts. Just a little pop-up on the right side, but finds a safe haven out there in shallow right field. 3 in pursuit, but nobody could get there. I think Duvall ran the wrong route. I think he was running a corner, and Bumgarner wanted to kind of come back to the middle of the field.
Javier Baez, game number 18 of his career. I've seen him take more pitches lately and draw some walks. And he looks at a strike.
Kind of a sweeping delivery that Bumgarner has, kind of a rotational delivery. He's got good life on the fastball. He can reach the mid-90s, sit comfortably at 92. Slider, curve, and a change.
Just caught him between there and he went. And that's awkward landing.
Yep. Something bit him there. A lot going on with the weight transfer. Puts a lot out on that front foot and then spins out of it a little bit. And
it looks like left ankle.
Running on Bumgarner, not much of an option. See how quick he is to home.
Barely a leg kick.
Yeah, 15 have tried, 6 successful, 9 caught. And we'll look at the active career ERA leaders. Pretty good company. This is his 4th year as a full-time starter in the big leagues. He's made the All-Star team twice.
Recently turned 25. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
This is proven to be a tough pitch for Baez. He has a hard time laying off, and everybody has a hard time hitting it when it's up that high.
Rizzo with the game-winning 2-run homer in Game 1 of this series, which was just completed about an hour ago. Trying to become the 7th Cubs left-handed hitter to hit 30 in a season. He would be the first since Fred McGriff in 2002. He hit exactly 30. It's happened 10 times in franchise history. Billy Williams did it 5 different times.
Well, barring injury, I'm guessing you could set that over-under at 30 each year for Rizzo, and I'd lay my money down on the over side.
Contour of the runner at first. Rizzo fouls. 1-2.
Well, Giants head off to Washington for the weekend. Face the red-hot Nats. This is an important game for them. Well, as you would suspect with that delivery, Bumgarner tough on left-handed hitters. They hit just .232 against him, and only one of the 14 home runs that he has allowed has come to a left-handed batter.
Arias looking for help, and he'll get it from Morse. Jorge Barrera checking in on hashtag Cubs Social. Always Twitter friendly we try to be, but especially tonight on social media night. Says, what if the Cubs had 10 more wins this time next year? Well, they would be 65 and 61 instead of 55 and 71.
And we'd be talking wild card.
Thanks for checking in.
Some fancy new graphic for social media night.
Oh, we got a question with specifically to JD. Keith Burton with Jackson on the DL. Will Turner, Dubront, and Straley each get starts?
Well, I suspect that Turner will get an opportunity to slot into Edwin's place in the rotation. Dubront is supposed to start the second game of the doubleheader in St. Louis on the next road trip. I believe that's Saturday when we're in St. Louis. Middle day of that set. And yeah, ultimately Straley will be back up here. So I think those guys were probably going to get starts. You know, anyhow at some point in September, regardless of Edwin's status.
1-0 on Justin Ruggiano. He's playing right tonight. He drives one out to right. Very deep, and it will go. And the Cubs have the lead. A 2-run homer for Justin Ruggiano.
You said, Skip, I'm hitting cleanup tonight. Does that mean you want me to hit a home run? Sure, why not? Hashtag opposite field. Hashtag heater away. Hashtag Ford home run replay. ... That's
his 6th of the year.
Hashtag high five.
Now Wellington Castillo. In there and a fastball for a strike.
I have to admit, I don't tweet very often. I've never used the hashtag.
I don't very often. That ball driven deep to left. It is gone! Out on the Waveland. They've gone back to back.
Hashtag back to back. Oh my. An ambush of Madison Bumgarner here in the bottom half of the first. After hanging on to win the suspended game. Boom, boom here in the first to take a 3-1 lead. Posey sets up down and away. Bumgarner misses badly. Castillo makes him pay. Castillo into double digits with his 10th home run of the year. Captain Giordano and the boys heads up over there.
One ball, no strikes on Valleca. He took Jake Peavy deep last night.
Well, here we go, right? We need to go back and look from the Mets series on. The percentage of Cubs runs that have come via the home run is astounding.
It's very easy to do. And I will do that.
I know. A lot of times I just throw it out there. I want somebody else to do the work. I could look it up, but
2 runs Friday, no homers. To the third. To end the inning. 3 runs tonight on a couple of home runs here in the first inning. And it's 3-1 after 1.
Back homers from Justin Ruggiano and Wellington Castillo. Travis Wood now with a little to work with. Don't forget, all night here on Comcast Sportsnet, we want you to get interactive with us on Twitter. Just use the hashtag CubsSocial. Ask us some questions. Send us in your pictures, and we'll try to answer some of them or show them later in the show. And Lynn and JD, these are for you guys. One from Ryan. He wants to know, what do you think the best trade signing under the Theo administration is? And I really like this one from Scott Simpson. Tell us what the grind is like for broadcasters throughout a season.
The first one, I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'll say the deal with the Orioles, Arrieta and Strop. I might be missing one, but that's the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, that would be the one that. And I'm also really intrigued by this Addison Russell kid they got from the A's in the Samardzija deal.
We're not going to know on that one for a bit. Joaquin Arias, the grind for broadcasters. Well, this is kind of the dog days of August, but I feel fresh.
You look good. You look sharp. You look locked
too.
in.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling strong.
You got to pace yourself. It's a long year.
It's a long year.
But I love doing it every day.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun.
I have a hard time complaining about the job, right? I mean, everybody in their job, they have days like, hey, I don't want to go to work today. Nobody wants to hear that when your job is to sit up here and talk about baseball for 3 hours, 4, 5, 6 hours some nights.
Contra's had a busy start. Went in and then had to go back to make the play.
I think the biggest challenge for me, though, is you fall into patterns, right? I do anyway, where I kind of say the same thing. So, it's like people got to be sick and tired of this. Come up with a different angle.
Yeah, I totally agree. Try to not get into those patterns.
I had a neighbor in Texas years ago said, man, how come you always say that ball was hammered? I said, I don't know, because the ball was hammered.
Because that's just what it was, yeah.
Hashtag monotonous. We have two of the better hitting pitchers in all of baseball.
We do.
In the ball game here tonight.
I said 5 homers this year. I actually said it wrong. 5 in his career. He has 3 this year, 2 grand slams. Yeah, these are the top 2 candidates for the Silver Slugger in the National League. Actually, I didn't say it wrong. I wrote it in my book wrong. I had him for 5 this year.
And Woody threw him a change up there in the second pitch. So, he's treating him like a legit hitter.
The only other pitcher to hit 2 grand slams in a season, as Bumgarner strikes out, Tony Cloninger, also with the Giants.
Yeah, he did that one game.
Yeah, 1966, July the 3rd. I have a question. When did number sign become hashtag?
I don't know.
Fouled back. All right, so I dropped a Russell Brand on Angel Pagan. You were kind of like,
No, I was there with you. I was there. Now, if we could Photoshop and trade the hats.
Yeah, and you get Angel to smile a little more and Russell Brand to smile a little less. We'd have it. Oh, and 2. Vito 88. Vito 888 checks in. Can you explain a pitch in the dirt being considered a dropped third strike when the catcher catches it on the bounce? That is a great question. I can't explain it. I just know that if it hits the dirt, you got to throw him out or tag him out.
Yeah.
I hate to give the answer because that's just the way it is. But I guess that's my answer. Two and 2. Izzo gets to the spot and retires Pagan, and the inning is over. It's 3-1 Cubs early from Wrigley.
And make sure to visit the website, WrigleyField100.com. There you'll see all the planned festivities. Tickets still available for this weekend's Interleague Series with the Orioles. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All games start at 1:20. Tickets can be yours at Cubs.com. Be a lot of orange in the ballpark this week. A fair number of Giant fans here, decked out in their orange. And then the Orioles invade Wrigley Field. Or fly into Wrigley Field, I guess.
Buena fouls away. So the rain delay that we had, the 2 rain delays totaled 6 hours 31 minutes. I saw it. I wish it might have been on CSN. It was on in the media press room, the lunch room. I was scarfing down some salmon between games. It said it was the second longest rain delay in big league history. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
And the longest was a game at Comiskey Park. I assume the old park in 1990. 7 hours 23 minutes. So we had the second longest rain delay ever. Yeah, 1990 would have been the old Comiskey. Now this rain delay was 2 different days, but still counts.
Yeah, still had to wait.
And it only rained for about, what, 2 hours and 15 minutes of that. Morris makes a catch. So Valbuena is retired.
Let me ask you this. Does the game have to start the delay clock going? In other words, it says the game scheduled to start at 1:05. And they get to the ballpark and it's going to rain all day, but by 9 o'clock tonight we'll be good. So you just sit around all day and then play at night. Does it?
I think they count scheduled start because time. Today, for instance, the clock began
at 4:05.
Yeah. It was CSN that had it. Yep. Caesar with a broken bat bouncer handled by Sandoval. Thanks to Scott Lindholm. He did a screen cap. Thank you, Scott. So that was the second rain delay ever that lasted over 6 hours. See, now that it's all said and done, and especially because the Cubs won, can't we look back and laugh at everything that just happened?
I feel like you're part of history now. Well, and I find it kind of interesting that at 6:31, what was the 16-inning game was 6:27?
Yeah, the length of the game
yeah.
was essentially what we had in rain delay time.
We've spent a lot of time at the ballpark this year. Wood right on that first fastball, fouled it straight back.
If he's going to beat out Bumgarner for the Silver Slugger, he may have to hit a homer off of him. I think that would give him a bit of an advantage. They each have 3 on the year as he pulls a ground ball foul.
Talking with one of the Red Scouts earlier who used to work in the, he's worked with the Reds then in a different capacity, and told me about throwing batting practice to Travis Wood as a minor league player. And he said the ball off his bat sounded every bit the same as the position players.
One and 2 on Wood. Just got a piece. It was a little warmer than it did.
It's more humid. It's muggier, yeah. And the wind's died down.
Whatever wind we had has left us for the time being.
Good thing nobody was in a 104.
got him. So both pitchers have struck out at the plate tonight. The Cubs hold a 3-1 lead after 2. Convention comes up at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers January 16th, 17th, and 18th, 2015. Room blocks are now open. Can be reserved by visiting CubsConvention.com or by calling 1-800-325-3535. Make sure you ask for the Cubs Convention rate. All reservations at the Sheraton Chicago come with convention passes built into the hotel package. Social media night. If you bought a ticket to the event and the game here tonight, that's the t-shirt you would have also won. Very nice. Cubs leading 3-1 on a couple of first inning home runs. Ruggiano and Castillo connecting off Madison Bumgarner.
According to my calculation, going back through my scorebook, 14 of the last 17 runs scored by the Cubs have come via the long ball.
That's a very high percentage. Yeah. You're right.
And that's been their story. They've been a very home run dependent team. That's okay if you score a ton of runs. They don't walk a lot and they don't hit for a high average. If they did, along with the home runs, then they'd really be something, and that's the direction that they hope they are headed in. Hentz took a whack at the first one. First time up, flew out to center field. That didn't change his approach there, and Wood fooled him with a changeup.
One and one on Pence. Craig Poston asks on Twitter, who sang the 7th inning stretch the worst to date? JD.
Yeah.
No.
You can't answer that question.
No, and I don't remember the. That's a nice play. Wood covering first as Rizzo had to really fire it to get the speedy Pence.
Yeah, not the fastest guy in the league, but nobody goes down the line harder than Hunter Pence. And again, the athleticism of Wood pays off. Nice backhanded play by Rizzo. Puts a lot on that throw. He had to, and Wood there to make the play.
The bad ones, the bad ones, I don't remember. The good bad ones, like epically awful.
Ditka.
Those you remember, and we haven't had any of those this year, I don't think.
Yeah. Was the question for this year or all time?
I thought he meant this year. That ball will drop. Ruggiano playing the carom, and Posey will slide in safely with a double. He's been on both times.
That ball wasn't exactly blistered by Posey, but he hit it in a good spot. So it looked like he got jammed.
See, Ruggiano kind of broke it down. I think he realized I'm not going to catch it, but I don't want to get too close to the wall and have the ball bounce past me.
Exactly, yep. You know, you got some tricky corners and angles down there.
Sandoval knocked in Pagan in the first. He's got Posey in scoring position with one out in the pitch. Inside. Ball one.
Kung Fu Panda 48 for Sandoval.
That will get the Giants their second run of the night. Both knocked in by Sandoval. That's a double. He put a hurting on that baseball.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. That was kind of a Kung Fu-like. Ball up and in, and he gets the hands pulled in. The ability to get on top of that ball and hit it that hard is pretty impressive. We're doubling up with inside cut fastballs on Sandoval. First one pushed him back a little bit, and this time he just whacks it into the left field corner.
Here's Morse. On the back foot to load the bases in the opening inning.
Giants kind of middle of the pack in the National League in runs scored. Playing a ballpark that suppresses run scoring, and watch them play. You look at this Pagan, Pence, Posey, Sandoval, Morse grouping at the top of the batting order. It seems like they would be better than middle of the pack.
Fouled away. Got some people checking in on the best move that the Cubs have made. Yeah, Rizzo for Cashner. That has worked out quite nicely. Anthony, an all-star this year. When you have more than one good choice, that's a good thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, how about Wood for Marshall? You know, it's been a down year for Travis, but man, did he have a season last year. He made the all-star team. Unfortunately for Sean Marshall, staying healthy has been difficult to do with the Reds.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Rizzo obviously has blossomed into the team MVP. So clearly that was a good move. Cashner has tremendous upside as a starting pitcher. So I guess the argument to be made for the Arrieta deal, it was set up that way. You know, you sign Feldman on the cheap, you flip him, you get Arrieta. The fact that you acquired a guy who looks to be a top of the rotation type pitcher now without giving up a whole lot to get him is what makes that deal stand out. But yeah, clearly Rizzo. They targeted Rizzo, they got him, and now they're able to feel really good about themselves going forward at that position.
Swing and a miss, strike three. 2 down.
Interesting. It looked like they were trying to throw a cutter in, and he just had it kind of squirt out of his hand, and it backed up on him and ran the other way like a two-seam running fastball.
Tying run at second. 2 outs now. Duvall. Looks at ball 1.
Remains to be seen if Duvall can handle big league pitching, but he's certainly proven his ability to handle minor league pitching. 296 at AAA this year with 26 home runs and 84 driven in. He had 19 doubles. A couple seasons ago, he led the Cal League in home runs with 30.
Fly ball to deep center. Alcantara right at the edge of the warning track to end the inning. Sandoval with a couple of RBI hits for the Giants tonight. The Cubs still lead by a run. North Side fan photo. Throwing a lot of hashtags at you tonight. And you can have it shown on an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T. Second time through for the Cubs offense against Bumgarner. It's been a lot better on the road than at home. Came in with an ERA in the 170s away from AT&T, but gave up those 3 first-inning runs.
Alcantara's arguing that he got hit by that pitch.
Yeah, he is convinced, and I think he's going to. He's already handed his bat to the bat boy and is ready to walk to first.
Yeah,
but they're going
interesting.
Yeah, he's going down to first, but they're going to check the replay. So Ricky's going to challenge.
Yeah, he didn't. You know, he turned and said that ball hit me. He didn't really sell it. You know, a lot of times you see a guy hop up and down or grimace in pain. And this was just if it got him, and I'm guessing it did. I don't think Alcantara's beaking here. Probably just a graze. The question is, will they be able to detect that on replay?
Well, that last look, you can't tell.
No, I can't tell.
So they need to find something that shows that it did. Or it'll be a 1-1 count.
Maybe we'll go next level technology and they'll start giving players a lie detector test.
The only thing is, you know, we're going to listen. I don't know if they're able to listen. Does the audio matter?
I don't know. They'd have to have better ears than me.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm not sure if you're Ricky, if you really want to use your challenge on that. I mean, if he doesn't get this his way, he's lost his challenge.
Can't tell.
No.
Yeah. We would probably.
My guess is based on his reaction, it probably hit him. But unless they have a more definitive look at it in the replay center in New York, I don't know how you overturn that one.
Now the side look is going to be tough to see. I can't tell.
Yeah, he's coming back.
Yeah, so
I think if Ricky had to do it all over again, he wouldn't use his challenge there.
Call confirmed. Okay. So it's not call stands, call confirmed.
Yeah, because even the reward isn't that great, or the risk, I guess I should say, because it's one thing if you're a safe out call on the bases, but here the at bat is still alive.
Right, it's not as if he's out.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing on the side shot, if you see kind of the pant leg maybe move a bit, that's not as conclusive as seeing the ball actually touch something. We have a lot of logical people on Twitter, and I love it. They say, well, look at the shadow, look at the, on some of these tags, but they need more than that on most of these overturns. That is not conclusive. And if you're saying, well, I think it hit him, that's not enough. Baez struck out swinging in the first. Kind of tweaked his ankle as he landed after a swing. A check swing.
Passive in this at bat after chasing a high fastball to strike out first time up. Consecutive heaters in the strike zone, not something he's seen very often since coming to the big leagues.
One and two.
Bumgarner with a little show of frustration. He thought that third one was good enough. Breaking ball in the dirt here.
So Alcantara had that shin guard on one leg and put it on the other when the at bat continued.
Did he really?
He did. Yeah. To ask him if he even realized he did. He's a switch hitter, so you can understand he's going to wear it on
confused,
both legs. But swing and a miss, strike three. Okay, so
it's interesting that it'd be on his back leg to begin with. And then I think he put it on the wrong leg to start the at bat, and then realized that. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Short left, and it drops, and Rizzo is aboard with 2 outs. Arias just couldn't get it.
I think Arias probably could have made a play on that ball. Looked to me, he got a little tentative at the end of that play, maybe thinking that a big outside linebacker out there in left field, Michael Morris, was about to run him over like a freight train. He got a little tentative there at the end of that play. So he's starting to measure his steps, where if he keeps going, probably going to be able to run under it. Morris was deep to begin with and actually backed up initially before breaking in. So Arias became the only option.
Ruggiano homered his first time. A 2-run shot to give the Cubs the lead. Luke checks in on Twitter. Always wanted to know what you guys do after the game.
Go home and go to bed.
I drive home, Luke. That's probably not what he was looking for.
No, probably not.
If we're on the road, we head back to the hotel. It kind of depends. Depends on the day, the time.
The city?
The city, yeah. We are tightly packaged in our hyperbaric broadcaster chamber between games. We're like baseball vampires. We only come out at game time.
You do, boy. And you know, late in the year when you're running a little low on fumes, you do fall into that pattern of either, you know, home, ballpark, or on the road, hotel, ballpark, and not a whole lot in between.
It's a fair ball, and everybody is safe. Ruggiano's got a hit.
Well, a bit of misfortune for Bumgarner here in the third. Little flare base hit by Rizzo. Now Ruggiano hits one right down the line. If Sandoval gloves it cleanly, probably throws him out. Looked like it took a little funky hop. Did it possibly hit the base?
I thought it might have. Nope, it bounced in front of the bag. Kind of a tricky hop. Ball, no strikes on Castillo. I was going to add some really opinionated broadcasters. They get put in the hyperbolic chamber. Two 2-0.
Where they work on their hyperbole. Hey, congratulations, Jackie Robinson West. They won tonight 6-5.
Yeah, they were. I saw they were down 2-0 early.
So they beat the team from the Philadelphia area tonight, right? So,
yes.
They got to get that Nevada team. Boy, they got some thumpers on that club.
Castillo homered right after Ruggiano in the first.
Bumgarner is really good, but he's up against it here. He's going to have to make a pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike, couple men on base.
Home run swing came up empty. 3-2. Runners will take off with the pitch.
And the home run swing is a little bit of an uppercut swing, and that's a tough swing when you're trying to get to that high fastball. Going to force Bumgarner down a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the inning is over. 2 out, 2 out hits, but no runs. 3-2 after 3. So in the Big Apple to take on the Yankees. Tune in as these two squads battle right here on Comcast Sportsnet. 6 o'clock. Our coverage starts. How about this? A little Instagram action from tonight.
That is really slick. That's suitable for framing.
Joe Panic. 0 for 1 in this game. 5 for 8 in the series. Came in with 5 consecutive multi-hit games and hitting .460 over his last 14 games. 23 out of 50.
It looks like the type of hitter has the approach of a hitter that should have success against left-handed pitching. He hangs in there pretty well.
We'll get out of play off of third.
You know what you would have if the Giants second baseman was at Studio 54, don't you?
Go ahead.
Panic at the Disco.
off the plate outside. Yeah, have a lot of fun with that name. Swing and a miss.
So you were about to say before I interrupted with my lame joke. Did you have a good?
Was worth it.
You have a good tweet?
Yeah, we got a good tweet. Michael Gerhardt. Have you mentioned the most famous protest? Fred Merkle. That's right. Yeah, 1908 Giants and Cubs at that. The base running gaff.
Merkle's boner.
The Giants won the game, beat the Cubs, but Fred Merkle kind of peeled off. Right, he was at first base. Looked like the game had ended. The Cubs realized that he had not gotten a second. And we, to this day, don't know which ball they used. There are all kinds of stories that the ball ended up in the stands.
Yeah, and they just grabbed one.
The Cubs either grabbed a different ball or went into the stands to get the ball. Got the force out at second. The game was declared a tie. And over the years and decades after the fact, a lot of the participants had very different stories to tell about what actually happened. But yeah, that was a real famous and has been called maybe the most controversial game ever, the way it ended.
And there was because it was routine practice in the day not to, once you didn't have to go to the next base. But in a similar play early, just a few weeks earlier, I don't know all the details, but Johnny Evers or whoever was involved tried the same thing or said, this should be out. It wasn't the first time that play had been attempted, but it was the first time that it was called.
Bill Clem, future Hall of Fame umpire at the time, said it was the rottenest decision in the history of baseball. He said, look, the force rule is about infield hits, not outfield hits. And I guess Merkle claimed that he did leave the field before getting to second, but only after being assured by the umpires that the game was over and that the Giants had won. Two balls, two strikes on Arias. So the Cubs and Giants ended up tied 98-55 for the National League pennant. So they had to replay the tie game on October the 8th, and the Cubs won 4-2. Beat the Tigers in the World Series 4-1. That will land fair in the left field corner. Arias on his way to second, and he's got a double.
Arias, like Sandoval in the first, appeared to be fooled by the changeup, and whereas the one to Sandoval was up a little bit, this one was down in the zone. This is a good pitch, just a good bit of hitting by Arias. Staying on the ball. Watch him go down and use the hands to get that changeup well out in front, but he stays through the zone with the bat and delivers on what was a very good pitch from Travis Wood.
The other thing is, obviously, there were a lot of people really upset and didn't hold back in terms of what Fred Merkle had done, and he was given the nickname Bonehead.
Yeah. Hey, it was a rougher game back in the day.
Oh yeah. Base hit, Madison. Bumgarner going to be a play at the plate. Here's the throw by Caesar. Save. Arias got in to tie it at 3.
And the Cubs don't have a challenge.
And the Cubs, as you said, don't have a chance. So Ricky is in the dugout, and he He can't come out and challenge it because of the early hit by pitch / ball. Now Ricky is going to come out.
I didn't come out and argue.
Now, I
guess he can ask, would you guys take a look at it?
The thing is, you can't really argue the collision rule here, right? Because he's with the catcher's team.
You're right. And now he beat the throw, and the point that Travis Wood was trying to make was that the front foot is above, not on the plate. You see there, and then does Welly get the tag on the back leg before anything gets to home plate? And boy, that's the decision to challenge the hit batsman of Alcantara really comes back to haunt the Cubs here.
Yeah, that is the first time we have seen that happen, where the Cubs or any of their opponents would have wanted to challenge a play and was not able to, because we haven't. Now, if we were in the 7th or the 8th, he could go out and ask and say, I think you guys should look at that. And they probably would. So Bumgarner gets an RBI.
And I think the reason why he challenged the Alcantara play was simply because Alcantara was convinced I got hit by that pitch, and Ricky wants to respond when his players, make their case. He usually goes to bat for him.
Alcantara with a sliding grab for the out.
But I think this is a great lesson of, okay, I agree with you. I believe you probably did get hit by that pitch, but that's going to be a very difficult call to get overturned. Let's go ahead and keep that challenge in our back pocket.
Here's Pence. Ball 1. Now 1-1. Swung on and missed 1-2. A replay review, as it is currently constituted, is a strategic rule as much as it is getting calls right. By and large, the strategy hasn't really come into play that much, because you normally don't see that many plays in a game that you would want to challenge, and this is really the first time we've seen, and I think it's happened in some other games where a manager has lost his challenge and then couldn't do it later in a bigger spot. Giants tie it. It's 3-3.
Fick and Colonel Kevin Campbell, both service members from the Air National Guard. Major General Fick retired in 2012 after 38 years of service, and Colonel Campbell is in his 24th year of service, currently serving as an A-10 pilot in Washington, D.C. So welcome. We thank you. And Cub fans, you can thank our troops right now by sharing a message of support using hashtag #TroopThanks. When you do, Bank of America will make a donation to military nonprofits dedicated to helping our troops succeed here at home. And don't forget, they're celebrating the 1990s on this homestand. Orioles are in town beginning tomorrow. First pitch is at 1:20. And the first 10,000 fans at the ballpark, 21 years of age and over, will receive a Kerrywood 20 strikeout bobblehead presented by Budweiser. For those collecting the Friday bobblehead set, this is number 9 of 10. Tickets are still available. We invite you to jump on at Cubs.com.
Well, tied at 3. By the way, how about the throw from Matt Caesar? Like they had him out at the plate, but unable to challenge the call. I do wonder if they will. I think they'll talk about it in the offseason, about the structure of replay, if we'll get to the point at some point where the managers will be taken out of it.
Well, yeah, you got to
just have New York and the umpires.
Get two issues in play. You want to get as many calls right as possible, but the game is dealing with this pace of play issue at the same time. So it's kind of opposing forces.
It is foul, just foul, off the bat of Valleca.
However, you're right. If there were some format where the decisions were made quickly in New York without the manager coming out, without the delays, without talking it over, maybe the pace of play would actually pick up.
Well, if you could avoid managers coming out on the field, have the crew chief or all the umpires have some sort of earpiece, probably just the crew chief, or a buzzer, something where he doesn't have to walk over, get out the equipment, put the headphones on, the whole deal. That would be one way to do it.
See the crew chief get buzzed in his pocket. I got a text from New York. He was really safe.
The super slow-mo that we occasionally are able to use, there's a significant cost there. I think technology-wise, in a few years, we'll have even better looks than we do now, which I think will speed up the process of the review once it gets to New York. Struck well, but Pence will make the grab as Valleca lines out. But one thing we know, well, several things we know. It's here to stay, right? It's not going away.
Correct.
Technology usually improves as time goes on. And MLB said when this started that it's not the final form of replay. So I think in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's probably going to look a little different.
And you could foresee a scenario where there were tweaks made every year for the next 4 or 5 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
This part of it worked well, but this part didn't, so we'll scuttle that, try this.
The other thing to note, there are still a small handful of major league games, usually weekday matinees, that aren't televised at all. And I know there have been a couple of occasions this year where MLB has actually had to staff a game with camera operators because there was no local television. Panic's got it. It's kind of hard to believe that still happens, but it does on a rare occasion.
Yeah, it's
not
like
the
that.
Cubs, though.
It's like that old, if the tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, can you hear it? If there's a baseball game played and it's not on TV, was it really played? Yeah. Did it really happen?
Yeah. All of our games are on, but not in every market. It has given us a lot of fodder, though, hasn't it?
Indeed.
Caesar with a fly ball to left. Morse. And a quick 1-2-3 for Bumgarner. It's 3-3 after 4. For the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. An update on Jackie Robinson West as they try to advance tomorrow night. Sportsnet Central coming up after Cubs post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Follow Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, all season long on Comcast Sportsnet. Brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Patrick, welcome to the booth. Boy, Twitter is blowing up. We're getting all kinds of fun questions, comments. Some we can read on the air, some I laugh at, chuckle at. But that's kind of Twitter in general, isn't it?
Jed Hoyer said it over the weekend in New York. He said, "You can't control Twitter, man." You know that. that was even before Chris Bryant's toe injury. That was just the Matt Caesar call up. So I'm sure he's checking on it right now.
Mr. Posey, high and deep, and it's gone, and the Giants lead. Posey had a hip problem, didn't play last night, but he's walked, doubled, and homered in this one.
A nice response by the Giants after the Cubs score 3 in the bottom of the first. Singleton's in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th to reclaim their early lead. Ford home run replay shows Buster Posey going deep for the 14th time this year. Ouch.
A 4-3 lead, and the ball ends up, a ball ends up back on the field. Patrick, how has Twitter affected your job? I mean, obviously things happen and they get tweeted out pretty quickly. Let's say you get news from the Cubs dugout, roster move is announced. What's the lag time there before you're able to send out a tweet? Because you try not to tweet. You know, most broadcasters, reporters, writers are not supposed to do it right from the clubhouse, but you kind of just do it whenever you have 5 seconds.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago when Z cleared out his locker in Atlanta, and we were just standing there, and Quaddy's telling us this, and people just start pulling out their phones. I think he was his head was about to explode of just like nice tweets. Like that was the only thing he said, and that's kind of the awkward thing now of when news happens, when Edwin Jackson's going on the DL. If you have it like 30 seconds later, you get people on Twitter saying like, "Oh, we already knew that." What's the next thing? And that's kind of at the winter meetings too, when one thing happens and no one cares about the signing. I want to know what's coming next.
Sandoval Goes the other way. He's got 3 hits, 3 for 3. And I guess you might get different answers from different people, but do we agree that once it's on Twitter and it's from a reporter's account especially, that's considered like it's in the newspaper, right? Someone says, source says this. You can't later go, well, I just put that on Twitter. I didn't really mean it. I mean, that's the tricky part of the nature of Twitter, is that it's quick, but it's there forever.
Exactly.
Even if you delete it, it's probably going to be screen capped.
You should think that, yeah, you can delete it, but someone will have found it already. You don't want to wind up on Deadspin. That's probably number one. And that, you just kind of know that ideally, we're told, I think if you talk to other reporters, that you should look at it like this is on the front page of the Sunday newspaper and that it's kind of, set in stone. But usually it doesn't work out that way.
So what if somebody yells, another what you consider to be a reputable reporter, fires out a tweet, then you retweet it, only to find out that he jumped the gun on something?
And exactly, and that's why you have Theo and Jed looking at their phones and kind of laughing with some of the stuff that's out there. But that's just kind of how fans want information as soon as possible, and a lot of these things are fluid. It's Castillo, the Cuban outfielder. It's the Giants were kind of lurking yesterday, and now people are saying it's the Red Sox and Tigers, and the Cubs, are essentially out now. So that's just kind of the way baseball is now in 2014.
Well, and I think that maybe the key word in that whole sentence was baseball. These aren't state secrets, right? So even if something does get messed up, it's just baseball, right? It's tipping off the enemy or anything like that.
Wood will talk it over. 1-2 on Michael Morse. The other part of it is, I assume you follow all of the Cubs players on
pretty
Twitter?
much all of them, yeah.
Who's the best tweeter on the Cubs? Is there?
You would think John Baker, but I don't think he's tweeted in like 5 years.
Yeah, he'd be. I don't follow him on Twitter because he hasn't tweeted anything, but he would be kind of ideal. The other guy was Carlos Villanueva. I told him that he would be great on Twitter, and he said that's why I'm not on Twitter.
Yeah.
And gets by. On a wild pitch. Sandoval now at third.
Matt Garza used to be really good on Twitter, and then kind of got into it with United Airlines and stuff like that. So he doesn't really tweet as much.
What about Instagram, Facebook? I mean, it's not Twitter night; it's social media night. There are other things out there that I guess can be resources. Do you think those things are useful in any way for what you do and for players?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're the Cubs front office, you're certainly looking at all these guys. If you're going to draft them, if you're trading for minor league guys, I mean, they supervise, they oversee all that stuff. They want to, for them, that's kind of an insight into the player, the makeup, the type of guy that they're getting. So certainly all those things are, that's kind of your public profile now.
Called strike 3 to get Morse. So the infield in. And I believe they'll stay in with Duvall coming up. Here's Duvall. And Andrew Baggerly from CSN Bay Area is going to join us as well to chime in on some of these topics. Andy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
It's been an interesting series, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Well, we had 48 hours and 12 minutes between the game starting and ending, so that's a first for me.
So I asked Patrick about how you use Twitter, and I know you're on Twitter a lot. In fact, I've mentioned a few of your tweets. I think you tweeted out about if the Giants had come back to win, they would have been the first team since the 40s to protest a game, have it upheld, and then come back and win. Let's see. Sandoval's not even going to tag. Not deep enough. Ball is caught by Caesar. it's a great tool for us. We can follow no-hitters. Say, oh, there's a little tweet. Do you find it real helpful?
Well, with no-hitters, if we mention it, though, then the fans will say, no, you're jinxing it. You can't do that. You can't mention it. And I think, hey, but if I mention it and I get one follower to tune in and watch the game, then I'm doing my job, right? So, it's remarkable how much you can use it not only to inform but to try to entertain, too. Try out your one-line comedy routine sometimes. And Hunter Pence even got his scooter back after it was stolen.
That's right.
Twitter is used to fight crime.
Hunter Pence signs, that thing kind of took off on Twitter as well, and now everywhere the Giants go, fans get into it, and they would not have, I don't think, without social media. The other question I have for you guys, you can handle this. You got some older writers who've been around for a while when they were, filing their stories on typewriters, but even the old guys are doing Twitter now, right? They really have no choice at this point for the most part.
I think so. It's something that everyone's embracing. I mean, you used to write a story. If you had a scoop, you tried to protect it, be a little cloak and dagger about it, and then everyone would open the paper the next day and you'd find out who had what. And now if you have a scoop, you better tweet it because someone else is going to in 5 minutes. So it's really just sped up the entire news cycle.
2-0. Fly ball to center. Off the bat of Panic. Giants get the leadoff homer by Posey to take the lead. Andrew, thanks for stopping by. Patrick, as always, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Tweet out some fun stuff tonight. 4-3. The Orioles at 120 and the first 10,000 in attendance get a Wrigley Field tote bag brought to you by Starwood. Tickets are still available, so go to Cubs.com. Orioles are here tomorrow, 120. Orioles are here Saturday, 120. Orioles are here Sunday, 120. Come on out. JD, you're back.
Back.
They kicked you out for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I was hanging out up top with Paula, having a slice of pie, enjoying the good life.
Four 3 San Francisco. Wood fouls over our heads onto the roof. Jeff Hinman checks in. Old guy Cub fan tweeter here. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Not sure exactly how to navigate Twitter, but enjoy the Cubs info and your insights. Thank you, sir. 5 Ks for Bumgarner. Here's Alcantara, who's 1 for 2. Here's a good question. If the Cubs win tonight, Mark checking in, are they on a 1 or 2 game winning streak? Technically, the game they won earlier today was played Tuesday. So the Cubs lost their last game. That was last night. Breaking ball, strike. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 in a row now as Bumgarner seems to be getting stronger. He has retired 6 in a row.
He's given up 2 base runners since the first inning, and they both came with 2 outs in the third. A little flare off the bat of Anthony Rizzo, and then Ruggiano ground ball down the third baseline that went for a base hit. He really has not given up much hard contact. Almost did right there, boy. That's the way to turn it loose. But he has not given up a whole lot of solid contact since the Castillo home run in the first.
Oh. Yep, I'm good. Oh, and 2. Didn't miss by much. 1 and 2.
And he has so much movement in his swing, and loads it up, and it's just very difficult once he gets started to lay off.
Strike 3 called. He punches out the side and carries a 4-3 lead to the 6th.
His Kids Retro Toy Sunday here at Wrigley Field. this Sunday at 1:20. It's the Cubs and the Orioles, and the first 5,000 kids 13 and under will receive a Gracie the Swan Beanie Baby. After the ball game, the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger will have the opportunity to run the bases. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Travis Wood trailing by a run. Arias with a ground ball right to Valbuena. So David Price today became the third pitcher in the last century to have at least 9 strikeouts, give up 1 hit, and lose. He was terrific against his old team, but Detroit lost at Tampa Bay 1-0. 8-inning complete game. Sent down 23 in a row to finish his outing. It was an unearned run that he gave up in the first inning.
Struck out 9, didn't walk anybody, which is a fairly typical line for David Price.
Alex Cobb, his former teammate, beat him with 7 2-hit, no-run innings.
I wonder if his ex-teammates texted David Price and said, "We own you."
So the Rays salvage a finale after losing the first 2 in that series. Bumgarner tied the game with an RBI single in the 4th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Now Pagan, and we found a Giants hat for his doppelganger, Russell Brand.
There you go.
Nothing in 1. There, now we gave Angel Russell Brand's hat. Next, he'll have the vest on. 1-1. Ground ball to second. Valleca to end the inning. Giants 4, Cubs 3. The American League East leading Orioles. Our coverage kicks off at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live. It's presented by Fields Auto Group. Cubs and Orioles Saturday at 12:30 on CSN.
Orioles off today, now have a 9-game lead in the American League East. Well, pending the results of tonight's action. The Yankees were 9.5 back. They won today, so they pull within 9. Toronto idle, I believe, this evening. So it would be a shocking development if the Orioles did not win the American League East for the first time since 97?
97 sounds right.
Buck Showalter will get a lot of votes for American League Manager of the Year.
It's Justin Grimm in the Cubs bullpen. 2-0 the count on Rizzo. Foul tip, strike one. 2-1. We will chat with Doug McDermott, Bulls first round pick. Actually taken by the Nuggets and then traded to the Bulls. Played at Creighton for his dad, Greg. Three and one. He walked him. It is the first walk given up by Bumgarner.
You know that conversation we've had, and we've supported it with graphics here over the last few days about the Cubs' upcoming schedule and all the contending teams they've got lurking. I think we could probably scratch the Cincinnati Reds off that list.
They lose again?
Yeah. Not off the list, not that they're not on the schedule, but out of the teams in contention, yeah, they did. They got smoked by the Braves. Lost 6 in a row.
Well, that's funny, isn't it? Joey Votto over the years has taken heat for his approach by some. Completely unfairly, in my opinion, but I think they could use his on-base skills in their lineup right now. Swing and a miss by Ruggiano.
They won 2 of their last 13. They're 10-17 since the All-Star break. They came into play today. 6 games back in the wild card with 5 teams ahead of them. 61 and 67 now. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. They claim one of those wild card spots.
Joe Sheehan wrote in his newsletter recently about the Reds coming out of the All-Star break and really struggling. They've had their injuries this year. Homer Bailey's on the DL.
Shaping up as a 2-team race at the top. Pirates certainly capable of making a run, and they're just 2 games out of the second wild card spot entering play tonight. They recently got Andrew McCutchen back. They got Garrett Cole off the DL. He pitched well for them yesterday.
A 2-2. Count holding.
Little different arm angle, but because of the size and the tilt he gets on his slider, he reminds me a little bit of Steve Carlton. I'm talking about Madison Bumgarner, this big lefty. Carlton was a little more on top, but there's such a big guy, and he creates difficult angles for the hitters. Tonight he's gotten a ton of swing and misses at that elevated fastball. But the kind of low three-quarters sweeping delivery he has when he throws his slider down and in. I mean, hitter looks out a way to find the release point, and that ball just keeps coming and coming and coming down and in when he throws the slider. And then again, the elevated fastball is in a very deceptive pitch for him tonight. That's 8 strikeouts for him.
Pitch to Castillo is low and in. Angels shut out the Red Sox. They sweep them in Boston. 2-0 the final. That's a 4-game series. Angels winning all of them. Matt Shoemaker actually took a no-hitter into the 7th. He's 12-4. Angels now will head to Oakland. They have a 2-game lead over the A's in the American League West. Garner letting Rizzo know he hasn't forgotten about him. Too high, 2-1. Brandon McCarthy with a gem. 4-hit shutout to beat Houston 3-0. 5-2 with a 190 as a Yankee. Dallas Keuchel went the distance as well. He didn't walk anybody. McCarthy didn't walk a batter, and the game took 2 hours 7 minutes. Astros won the first 2 games of that series. 3-2.
Clayton Kershaw's got a no-hitter going. But it's early. It's only the 4th. Do you always pay attention when he's pitching?
Yeah.
0-0 with the Padres. And a lot of those foul balls straight back off Bumgarner, where the timing is there for the hitters, but just not able to square it up. Kind of runs counter to what we preach with big pitchers. Use your height, use your leverage, drive the ball down in the strike zone. He does not. He does that.
Came back from 3-1 to strike out Castillo, number 9 for the lefty.
Imagine some pitching coaches would be tempted to tell him, man, just think if you got on top, had a little higher arm slot and got that ball down. Awfully difficult to try to convince a guy like Bumgarner that he needs to make an adjustment. He's been really good. He's been an all-star twice. He's 25 years old. Got a lifetime ERA of 3.10. Just leave him alone.
Valleca. Fouled away. Bumgarner from Hudson, North Carolina. Population 2,800. Sure, it's not too far from Mayberry and Mount Pilot. The famous story is that he married his high school sweetheart, Allie, on Valentine's Day of 2010. Gave her a 5-day-old bull calf as a wedding gift. Rizzo takes off for second. He's safe with a stolen base.
I like the play. Bumgarner striking everybody out. Sneak attack by Rizzo. Even if you get caught, I think it's a good play. Gamble a little bit. Yeah, how about that? Cow for a wedding present.
One. It's a strike. Tenth overall pick in the 07 draft. And as you said, he has become their ace. It's high 2-2. Giants will have to get it done without Matt Cain after right elbow surgery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He's hit double digits. Seen that a lot here recently against the Cubs, who trail by a run. Cubs as we get into the late innings. Chris Coughlin comes into play left. That will move Matt Caesar from left to center. Alcantara will go to second from center. And Justin Grimm will be the new pitcher. The Cubs trailing by a run. And in the booth with us, the newest Chicago Bull, Doug McDermott. Doug, great to have you with us here at Wrigley Field.
Feels great, guys. I appreciate you having me in here.
Have you been to the ballpark before?
I have. Probably about 9 or 10 years ago, I'd say. It was a while ago, but I still remember it like it was yesterday.
Very nice. Well, nice night.
It's beautiful.
And welcome to Chicago. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I've been here training for a couple weeks and get to go home tomorrow for a little bit. But, it's been great. I can't wait for training camp to start, September 30th.
Hunter Pence will lead it off. Foul back. JD, this guy can shoot.
Yeah.
He likes to score the basketball.
26.7 points per game. One of 3 in NCAA history with 3,000 points, 1,000 rebounds career. You know the other 2?
I really
It's
don't.
A trivia question. I don't either. I was hoping you would.
No, I don't.
We'll research it.
I don't know that stuff.
Outside for a ball.
So what's the biggest challenge making this transition from college to the NBA?
It's a whole nother level, of an athlete. Everyone is so athletic and, everyone's really good, They're here in the NBA for a reason. So it's going to be a challenge defensively, that's going to be the biggest challenge for me, just trying to adjust to, Coach Thibodeau's system. And, I think I've gotten off to a good start with it.
2-1 on Pence. Let's check out your fastball, Doug.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, here we go.
Were you tempted to go out to second base and see if you could make it a 3-pointer?
I don't got that type of range. That was great though. I hadn't warmed up at all. I was a little nervous, but thankfully it went just outside the strike zone.
Buena has to hurry. Safe. Pence, as JD mentioned the other night. It's a lot of base hits like that. Those little rollovers to the left side. He almost lunges at the ball and then takes off for first.
Yeah, he has his weight going forward, much like a sprinter coming out of the blocks, has a lot of momentum. When you jam him, that's not the case. But as he reaches and rolls over, gets a nice break out of the box. And as I mentioned earlier in the game, he really sells out, hustles all the time.
The NBA three-point line. So that's an adjustment. Seeing where your feet are.
Yeah, especially in the corners, because the out-of-bounds line is so close. So that takes actually a lot of time to practice and get that down. But I think I'm pretty comfortable with the range now that I've been training the whole summer for it.
And now that you're out of college, would you espouse moving the college three-point line back? Because I know that has been brought up by some.
I think they should a little bit. I think maybe not to the NBA level. But, I think the FIBA level, the international game, it's like the perfect distance. It's in between the college and the NBA, and I think it'd benefit guys going to the pros a lot more.
Sure.
Ooh, had him leaning. If you were to play a game of horse with your new teammates on the Bulls, you're going to beat them all?
I mean, are we... can they dunk like in Derrick Rose windmill?
No, man, no.
A shooting contest.
Maybe shooting.
Yeah, that windmill dunk stuff. That always set me back.
Maybe need a little trampoline or something.
Check on Pence.
It's fun though. It's an exciting time, man. Come to Chicago.
It really is.
League.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm at Wrigley Field right now. It just feels great. This brings back memories. My dad's a huge Cubs fan, lifelong Cubs fan, so he's jealous of me right now.
And you got to play for your dad.
Here. Yeah, I did. I played for him for 4 years in college, and now we're moving on. But it was a great time, great memories.
Buster Posey has had a game as Pence on his way to third. He's going to be safe. Posey's been on all 4 times. He and Sandoval have done it all tonight offensively.
Yeah, they haven't recorded an out yet. And here's Pence with a good read, and off he goes. No chance you're going to get him on that ball going first to third. Make sure you hit a cutoff man and don't let Posey move into scoring position. So the dynamic of playing for your dad, how was that? Any issues along the way?
There definitely were, more early in the career just because, neither of us were used to it. But, the last 2 years especially, we really, bonded and, there weren't many issues at all.
That's great. Yeah.
Sandoval, as Grimm's in some trouble here in the 7th, and a late swing, he fouled it back. Any other main sports as a kid?
I was a big golfer. I actually played Medina Country Club here on Sunday, and those greens are pretty tough. I can't say I'm that good, but I played a lot of golf. I played baseball till 8th grade, but other than that, just focus on hoops.
Yeah. And strike on Sandoval.
So yeah, the hoop golf combination is a good one. Because you got the summer, a good chunk of the summer off where you can play a fair bit.
No doubt. It's great. It's so relaxing, and you kind of just get out and be on your own and just relax. And I think it's great for mental toughness too.
Well, as you're already finding, this is a great NBA town.
Yeah, I can already tell. It's a great sports city. You can tell. So passionate about their teams, and they really care. So it's a great spot to be in.
1-2 now on Sandoval. Giants lead 4-3. The Cubs scored 3 in the first and have not scored since. At Doug McD3, that's your Twitter handle. We're talking about social media tonight. I don't know how often you tweet or how often you get on Twitter, find out what's going on around the NBA and around the world.
Yeah, I'm on there a little too much. It's a great way to network. Great way to interact with fans and stuff. And there's a lot of people from Chicago on Twitter. I found that out really quick.
Sure, during the season you'll probably not follow it quite as much.
Yeah,
get into the heart of the NBA season. Yeah,
for sure.
Probably have a lot of people tonight tweeting saying, "Hey, Doug, hook me up, get me on in Medina."
Yeah, I probably will. Probably shouldn't have said that.
Outside, 2-2.
Well, Sandoval, tough guy to strike out, but that's exactly what Justin Grimm could use right here. Punch out, double play, clean up this mess, and keep it a 1-run ball game.
Grimm has a sign from Castillo. He's going to set up shop toward the outside. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. There
you go.
That was huge. And Sandoval was perhaps sitting on something off speed, a little emergency swing at this fastball, and just couldn't get to it. 95 miles an hour, and he beats the Panda.
So you'll get a good look at LeBron back in Cleveland.
Yeah, should be a pretty packed house, when Cleveland comes to town for sure.
Now, so JD can speak to facing guys he may have been in awe of when he was in high school or college. As a pitcher, having to face a particular hitter who might have been on a Hall of Fame track. Have you ever been on a basketball court with someone and thought, oh man, it's got to happen at some point where you pinch yourself and go?
Yeah, this 2 weeks ago, I was out in Vegas for the USA basketball deal, and Kevin Durant, I got switched onto him, and I happened just to contest his shot, and thankfully he missed. But being on the floor with Derrick Rose for the first time was pretty incredible for me too. So it's an awesome feeling.
Well, you get to play your home games at a place where outside there's a statue of Michael Jordan.
No, it's unreal. One of the greatest of all time, and you get to play in his building. So it's a privilege.
1-1 to Morse. Twitter followers are increasing by the second. They just put up your handle.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that, guys.
Got a lot of power here, Doug.
Yeah. Thanks for the shout out.
Hey, JD, so who was that guy for you? Who'd you face when you were like, oh, my goodness gracious?
Probably Pete Rose. When I first got traded from the Yankees to the Astros, and I pitched in relief against Cincinnati, and Pete was player manager at the time and put himself in as a pinch hitter.
It's going to get Pence home as Caesar will go back, make the catch. Posey will head back to first. Pence will score. The sac fly and an insurance run for the Giants now 5-3. Well, Doug, this is your first time singing here, so we're going to let you relax for the rest of the half inning and get ready to sing. I know you'll do a great job.
Thank you.
But welcome to Chicago, man. We're going to really look forward to watching you with the Bulls.
Good luck.
Thanks,
guys.
real fun. Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Doug.
it. Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thanks.
Doug McDermott,
Appreciate
the newest Chicago Bull. Here's Duvall with 2 outs. Posey with a short lead at first. 0 away. Giants trying to win this series and then head off to D.C. The Cubs know they've got the first place Orioles coming in and they're red hot. So they'd like to be able to come back here and take 2 of 3. That's a strike, 1-1.
Two-seamer in. Good pitch.
And he got the call on the inside corner. 1-2.
Yeah, well, that's all about Castillo setting up in there, basically stealing that for his pitcher.
Down, but Posey got a really good read on it. Now that's good base running right there. And we've talked about it a fair amount this year. The good base runners anticipate, and the second that ball hit the dirt, maybe even before Castillo knocked it down, Posey doesn't run that fast. He was gone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's getting a good secondary lead. He's probably anticipating breaking ball there in that count, and he knows Grimm bounces a fair number of them. But, you know, that aggressive secondary lead puts him out there in a position where he can take advantage of that ball in the dirt. And yeah, far too many times this year the Cubs have been caught back staying at first base when they should have moved into scoring position.
Grounder to short. It's Baez. Strong throw. Time for the stretch now with Doug McDermott.
Conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Chicago Bulls forward Doug McDermott.
All right, Cub fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. So just root for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs, Cubbies.
High-speed action. Madison Bumgarner gave up the 3 runs in the first inning, but after that settled down, helped his own cause with an RBI single to tie the ball game. That was in the 4th. The Giants have added 2. Posey's homer, Morse's sac fly, and it's 5-3 San Francisco. Gregor Blanco's in for Morse in left.
A superior defender. Here's Bochy getting his best defensive team on the field.
Buena shows bunt, takes a strike. Hey, good going, Chris Valleca. He's out of the game now. He recently visited the children at the Advocate Illinois Masonic Pediatric Development Center. Also visited adult cancer patients in the oncology center who were receiving treatment. Signed autographs, gave away Cubs hats, met with the families. Earlier this week, Anthony Rizzo also made one of many hospital visits that he's made during his time here in Chicago. He went to Lurie Children's Hospital and visited the pediatric oncology floor. Nice going, guys.
Yeah, that's part of the deal.
Ball ripped into right center. Valbuena is aboard.
First hit for the Cubs since the 3rd inning. Nothing doing in the Giant bullpen. Bumgarner up over 102 pitches. He's a horse. He's very durable, very strong. It was a muggy night. He went 7 innings last time out through 110. The previous start 123 pitches and 8 innings of work. A lot of times it says, back to back starts and go into a, run a pretty deep pitch count where a guy will run out of gas.
Ground ball, base hit. Matt Caesar with his first major league hit. And the Cubs have 2 on with nobody out.
Baker with a little sleight of hand there. Had one in his hand when he went out there to get the souvenir ball, flipped the other one, kind of like a fan catching a home run ball out the bleachers. Congratulations, Matt Caesar. First big league knock.
Watch the sleight of hand.
Boom. Into the glove goes the good one. Into the stands goes the other one.
Dave Righetti out to the mound.
Every player on the bench tonight for the Cubs, a left-handed hitter. Chris Coughlin gets the call here. Butt him over. Nope.
Swing and a miss.
Romo and Lopez out there in the Giant bullpen.
Coughlin thought he pulled the bat back, but Mike DeMuro said he did not, at least in time, get it back. So that's a strike, going 2.
Gave him one shot on the first pitch and then put the sack on. And
the no-hitter is over in the 6th, I believe. Tyson Ross Padres pitcher with 2 outs.
Wow, that's ironic. It's also a really good pitching matchup. I like that Ross kid.
Dirt ball, 1-2. That's the first out.
For Bumgarner. Last 7 outs recorded have all been strikeouts. This is a situation where, we talked about Posey and his ability to get to second on that ball in the dirt. The sacrifice, Coghlan wasn't able to get it down. Now the base runners really have to look for an opportunity to take advantage. Get to third and second bases respectively if Bumgarner bounces a breaking ball here.
Contra hustling, he is out as Sandoval gets it. Base hit could tie it though with 2 in scoring position now. Mentioned this earlier this week. Sandoval's had a nice year with the gloves.
6 errors, I believe. Pretty darn good. More to playing the position than just errors, but it certainly gets your attention. I guess I should say there's more to evaluating playing the position than looking at errors. Plays every day. He's committed 6 errors. 71 consecutive errorless games at third base. This team has a lot of personality. All the stuff that's going on with Pence and the signs and the panda. Lincecum, they call him the Freak.
Junior Lake has homered, back with the Iowa Cubs, his first since being sent down to AAA.
This is one of those redemption opportunities for Baez. 3 trips to the plate tonight. He has struck out all 3 times. But 1 big swing and he can be a hero. And therein lies his value, the ability to do damage. Boy, Bumgarner made a mistake there. You saw Posey ask for that ball up high. That's where they've been beating him. And down where Baez could get to it, just didn't do anything with it.
Bumgarner's going to empty the tank here. Pitch count is up there. 2 outs, 2 on.
And they're going to go way up again, just whether Baez can lay off of it again. Posey staring out at Bumgarner after that pitch as if to say, hey, don't get careless here. You got a hitter who's willing to chase a pitch up in his eyes. Go ahead and stay there.
Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bumgarner pumps his fist as he gets out of the jam and keeps the Giants ahead by 2.
We continue Cubs social media night, and all of these gentlemen were here at Wrigley to take in the festivities. Danny Pankratz is going to be speaking on behalf. And first of all, Danny, why don't you describe what this night is like for fans at home?
It's a great opportunity to connect with people that you have created relationships, made friends that are passionate about the Cubs via online social media, maybe reading a fan site, a blog or something like that, or just met at games before.
Now, social media, everything, Instagram, whatever it may be, but Twitter especially has changed how fans and everyone interact and watch a game. How has it done that for you?
Yeah, it's been great. I've made friends through Twitter and social media. A lot of these guys behind me I met last year at social media night. Other people in the right field bleachers I met last year, other people who aren't here tonight. But I've been able to make friends who are just as passionate about the Cubs and just excited about the future of the Cubs as I am by just watching the game with somebody else. I might be hanging out in my living room in my apartment, but I'm hanging out with people who are in Philadelphia, who are in Wisconsin, Indiana, that type of thing.
There you go. Cubs fans all over. Danny, real quick, what's your Twitter handle? Just because he's been tweeting out all kinds of good stuff tonight.
Sure. I'm at All Weather Fan. It's a reference somewhat to the Eddie Vedder, Someday We'll Go All the Way, a reference. It says we're not fair weather, but foul weather fans or all weather fans. And so rain or shine, we're going to be here supporting the Cubs.
None more truly than today. Guys, thank you so much. It was raining, but they're still here, and we're getting 2 games in tonight, guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Wesley Wright trying to keep the Giants where they are. A 1-1 count on Joe Panik.
Nothing for 3 tonight. Well, he's had a nice series.
to right.
Right in the right spot. One out in the Giant eighth. This game kind of counter to what you normally see in Major League Baseball. The Big Bang Theory of baseball says that the winning team will score more runs in one inning than the losing club will score total. Not the case tonight. The Cubs have had the big inning. It was a 3-run first. It's been 5 singletons for the Giants so far. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, fifth, and seventh.
Arias, strike 1.
Ooh, good breaking ball.
0-2.
Remember, one of the Giants' runs scored. I believe it was the Arias run back in the fourth. And play at the plate where he may have been out, but the Cubs couldn't challenge because they'd already used the challenge. And Arizmendi Alcantara thought he had been hit by a pitch. Call was confirmed. Challenge lost, and they couldn't get a second look at the play at the plate. That was very close.
Just in. Speaking of Justin Grimm, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run. Travis Wood, the starter, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. Bachelorette party, perhaps? Well, the Orioles hit home runs too. They hit a lot of them. They'll be here tomorrow.
He's pitching tomorrow, by the way.
Jake Arrieta.
Oh, yeah. Former Oriole.
Kevin Gausman, I believe, for the visitors.
Yeah, he's a
really good
young prospect, yeah.
Bud Norris, Kyle Hendricks on Saturday here on CSN. Miguel Gonzalez, who's replacing Ubaldo Jimenez in their rotation, against Tsuyoshi Wada on Sunday. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Arrieta against his old team.
Yeah, well, good pitching matchups throughout the weekend. Gonzalez 3.80 ERA is the highest ERA of any of the 6 starting pitchers scheduled to work in that series. Might be worth a shot upstairs for right here on Arias. Take a page out of Bumgarner's playbook. See if you can get him to chase a high fastball. Arias doubled back in the 4th on a Travis Wood changeup. That was really a good pitch. Down. Below the knees, outside part of the plate.
Grounded to Baez is short. He gloves, throws, and gets it. Still time to plan a group outing this season here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs offer special ticket packages for groups of 15 or more with exclusive benefit options, including parking and Wrigley Field tours. Call the group sales office and speak directly with a sales associate at 773-404-4242 or visit Cubs.com/groups. Here's Matt Duffy, pinch hitting for Bumgarner. And he promptly lines out to Rizzo. Bottom 8, Cubs are down by 2. Javier Lopez is on.
Hey, as promised earlier in the ballgame, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Here it comes. Boom. Clark the Cub and the company. Tweet your photo to hashtag Northside Fan Photo for a chance to have it appear in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
Lopez against Rizzo, and ball one.
Well, like Bumgarner, a sidewinder. It comes from a little bit lower arm angle than Bumgarner. Doesn't have the giddy up on the fastball. Nowhere close. He's a finesse-style left-hander, 86, 87 miles an hour. Cutter, slider, and a change. Been around a long time.
Arias now third. We just talked about Sandoval's defense, but he's out. Two 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes.
Romo up in the Giant pen. So this could be a one-and-done situation for Lopez in here to face Rizzo only. Typically, you know, how Bochy will use him, a tough left-handed hitter or two. 50 appearances this year, but just 30 2/3 innings of work.
That's a strike. Foul. Still 3-2.
Pretty impressive work by Madison Bumgarner tonight. Well, it looked like maybe the Cubs would have his number. Back-to-back home runs, 3 runs in the first, and he basically said, no. Not tonight, fellas.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Thirteen strikeouts for Cub hitters tonight.
Lopez's night is done.
It'll be Sergio Romo with Ruggiano due. Might not be him to hit, except Ryan Sweeney may replace him. At any rate, pitching change. And we'll be back to Wrigley Field. Their closer. You see 23 out of 28 in save chances. Lost that full-time role in late June. Not going to face a right-handed hitter, though. It'll be Ryan Sweeney for Ruggiano.
Off-speed pitch there to get started. Typically, Romo throws a lot of sliders.
Sinkers hit on the ground to panic at second. Into center and a base hit. We'll get a pinch hitter here in the pitcher's spot. It'll be John Baker. This always makes Ricky Renteria a little nervous. Both catchers in the game, but it's late and they're down 2.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. But how often do you see it come to pass where, you know, you use your backup catcher and then the main guy gets hurt? Or, like, almost never, but there's a legitimate fear.
Slicing drive, left field. Blanco puts the clamps on it, and the inning comes to an end. We'll head off to the ninth with the Giants leading by 2. Presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Get the recap of tonight's game and all the action around the league. Don't miss Cubs post-game live tonight right after the game. Ryan Sweeney now playing right after pinch hitting. Blake Parker back in the big leagues for a night. By rule, he has to go back to the minor leagues after this one. He's the 26th man on the roster just for this game, and he will get some action.
Had 9 games for Blake here at the big league level this year. This is, what, his 3rd separate tour of duty with the Cubs?
Oh, I think it's more than
that.
I can find that out right now. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
6 times?
You've got to be nearing a record. Called up on April 13th, sent back 9 days later. Called up on the 27th of May, sent out 2 days later. He's had a call up every month except June. July 6th, July 26th, August 1st, August 21st.
It's like the cable bill.
Shows up once
every
a month.
Yeah. Well, you know, and down at AAA, he's been just outstanding. A 1.39 ERA. He's the closer. Has 23 saves for Iowa. He's their all-time save leader.
Yeah, and we've referenced it before. That can be seen two different ways. You're always happy to lead a franchise in something positive, but when it's a minor league franchise,
yeah,
kind of say, well,
you don't
probably spent too much time.
You don't hope to do that, but all you can do is do the best you can wherever you're assigned, and he's held up his end of the deal while down at AAA. He's been very good. He's trying to break through and hope he can get steady work at the big league level. Last year, 49 appearances for the Cubs, and he had a 2.72 ERA.
Two and one to Pagan. Thing about call-ups and options, that whole thing, when you say how many options does a guy have left, it's a full year of options. So if a guy's been optioned 5 or 6 times in the same season, that's just one
option.
Option. Keep that in mind. Casilla will get the save chance. Albert Pujols was ejected in the Angels' win in Boston. His first ejection since 2005. Pagan serves one into center. Mike Scioscia also got the thumb.
Well, 2-run lead in the ninth. Bruce Bochy will be, he's going to be in 1-run mode here, find a way to pad his lead, whether that's trying to straight steal with Pagan or playing a little hit and run. He's not going to have Pence bunt.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Shot foul. First base side out of play. Thanks to Mick Gillespie for chatting with us during the rain delay. Fine voice of the Tennessee Smokies. Gave us a good update on all the Cubs prospects.
He's very high on Addison Russell.
Yes, very.
Said maybe the best hands he's seen.
Pagan runs, Pence fouls. Also, great to see Jason Benetti, the longtime voice of the Syracuse Chiefs AAA club, and now working for Westwood One and ESPN. An up-and-coming broadcaster and Chicago native. One and two.
This pitch has been called a strike at times tonight, just not this time, and it was off the plate. Been a long day at the ballpark. These players got here early in anticipation of a 4 o'clock start for the resumption of the suspended game. And started around 6.
Pence strikes out.
Good breaker on the plate, but down. Pence very unorthodox. All kinds of crazy motions, but he can play.
Posey walked, doubled, and scored, homered, and then singled. He's averaged out to 283. Same as Pence. 1 point behind Sandoval. Morse hitting 283. There's a lot of guys right around 283.
So it was a couple of years ago when Posey took that big hit at home plate that created all the conversation about blocking the plate and running over catchers, and has led to this new collision rule. The other thing you wonder if the Giants consider at some point down the road, Posey can play first base. He's such a good hitter. Obviously more valuable when you get that kind of production from the catcher position. But, you know, over time, if the wear and tear of catching starts to affect his offense, do they play him more frequently at first base?
That was the Mike Piazza question. Joe Mauer hasn't caught it all this year. Pagan is out. Perfect throw from Castillo to nail him.
It looked like Pagan got a pretty good jump, but Castillo with a laser beam to second base.
That is a big league throw. Two and one on Posey. Another deep drive out toward the wall and off the wall. Posey's got a double. One base shy of the cycle. 2 doubles, a homer, and a single tonight. He has put on a show at the plate.
Well, we're trying to go slider away here, and that slider didn't slide much. It spun, didn't have a whole lot of action. Posey obviously seeing the ball well tonight. Nice, long, smooth pass through the strike zone. Fourth time he's had 4 in a ball game this year. $14 hits for the Giants in last night's ball game. They now have 12 here this evening. Boy, a lot of extra base hits too, a lot of doubles.
Cutter strike on Crawford. You know what they call the pitch tracks when he's batting? Crawford box.
Crawford box.
Thought you were going to get it, so I had to say the answer fast.
I haven't seen any Orioles personnel at the ballpark scouting tonight.
It's kind of hard to tell with all the orange and black in the ballpark. Not that an Orioles scout would.
Yeah, and by
orange shirt.
I'm sure. I was thinking more in terms of an Oriole player or two or coach who might have wanted to come out. You know, if you're a player and you're in town on an off day, you're probably not thinking about going to the ballpark. That's what you do every single day. But interleague play, chance to come to Wrigley, maybe go out and hang out in the bleachers for a couple of innings. Could see where a guy might want to do that.
Swing and a miss by Crawford. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Giants 5, Cubs 3. Travis Ishikawa in for Duvall playing first. And the new pitcher is Santiago Casilla. As you check his numbers, we want to thank our entire CSN crew. It's been a long day. Did a great job, especially social media night tonight. Maybe the Cubs can come up with something special here in the bottom of the ninth. Won't be easy. Casilla's put together a nice year.
Hashtag rally. Yeah, he's got a 1.62 ERA. He's taken over now as the primary closer for the Giants. And to say that Romo wouldn't get some chances given the situation. I think they like to see it because he's a ground ball guy. Doesn't give up the home run. He's only allowed a couple of those this year. Averages 94 miles an hour with the heater. Got a slider and a curve, and used the changeup sparingly.
Logan Watkins, called up earlier today, is on deck. He made his big league debut last year. And he will hit for Caesar. Ball one on Valbuena. Probably the guy you'd want at the plate in this spot. Trailing by 2, but has the ability to take a walk. Two and 0.
Down 1, he's swinging. Down 2, he's probably taking. All the way.
2 and 1.
You got to be careful here not to get greedy and roll over on a sinker. It's pretty crisp. Casilla with the Athletics when he debuted in 2004. So a few years with them and then with the Giants. So he's been out there in the Bay Area for a good while now.
One hopper to panic. That's the first out. Here's Watkins to take his first big league plate appearance this year. He's hitting .256 at Iowa with 4 homers in 101 games. He's versatile. Mainly has been a second baseman, but he can play the outfield and pretty much all the infield spots in a pinch.
So that empties the bench. Interesting that you would pinch hit for a position player in this situation. And in so doing, empty the bench.
Yeah, Watkins would just stay in the game. By the way, it's raining.
Yeah.
Just starting to rain.
But, you know, a lot of times the manager would hesitate to do this just in case you come back and tie the ball game. You'd want to have that one guy available to hit for a pitcher later on. Chances that it happens? Very slim.
Watkins' first name is Vincent. His middle name is Logan. He goes by Logan. .95 with some late movement. 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. So the Cubs have struck out at least once in every inning but the 4th. And they're down to their final chance. It's Coghlan.
Well, how many swings and misses have we seen at pitches up out of the strike zone tonight? You don't have to answer that. It's just a rhetorical question. A lot of them.
Yeah, my answer would have been too many.
There's life.
Yeah, there is life, and the tying run will come to the plate. Well, Coghlan with a 2-out single to bring up Alcantara. And it has now stopped raining. Just a very brief shower.
Like he hit that one right off the end of the bat. Keep the line moving. A dangerous hitter and on deck, and Javier Baez.
Sure would be nice to get him to the plate.
Don't normally say that about a guy who's 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. But it's a point well made. Make a mistake, it can win you the ball game.
Casilla trying to save it for Bumgarner, who is looking for his 14th win. The 1-0 pitch. Oh, that really stung Posey. You kind of are making the case for him to maybe not catch so much.
Yeah.
When you think about the offense he's provided tonight.
And there's baseball as a metaphor for life, right? Like, you can't just have a perfect night. 4 for 4 plus a walk, couple of doubles, home run. But while we're at it here, take that with you.
Coghlan at first, tying run at the plate, 2 outs in the ninth. And Casilla's pitch, swing and a miss.
Alcantara's biggest problem as a big leaguer has been the off-speed stuff. Soft stuff down. That time just got beat by a good fastball.
Giants take 2 of 3. Another strikeout, and this one ends the ball game.
I guess fitting that it would end on a swing and a miss at a high fastball. That was the theme tonight. Bumgarner and the Giants bullpen combining for 15 strikeouts.
15 strikeouts, 1 walk. In fact, if you add them all up, both teams 24 strikeouts, 2 walks. The Giants end up on top, 5-3 the final. And let's get our GMC professional grade player of the game.
Yeah, the battery was really good tonight. A big night offensively for Buster Posey. Madison Bumgarner threatened early, gave up a 3 spot in the first, and then he just kind of went to work and pounded the top of the strike zone and beyond with fastballs. 1 swing and a miss after another. 12 strikeouts for Bumgarner in 7 innings of work. 3 runs allowed, all coming in the first. And he chipped in with an RBI single as well.
So the Cubs win earlier the suspended game, but they lose the nightcap. 5-3 the final. Again, great work by our entire crew. We're back on the air Saturday here on CSN. Our pregame coverage will start at 12:30 as the Orioles and Cubs play Game 2. Coming up next, Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live.